welcome, Sheldon. First up, we'll go to Bob McGill, Leafs Nation Network. Go ahead, Bob.
Hey, Sheldon. How big was the game tonight for guys like Galchenyuk, with I thought his energy he brought to the game tonight, but also Pierre Engvall, the physical play for your club here tonight?
Yeah, I thought those guys, gave us what we thought we were going to get. A little extra speed, a little extra skill, competitiveness on the puck, and then the speed is a big part of that to be able to get to those spots. Yeah, I just thought we had a really engaged hockey team here today. All the way through our lineup.
Next up, we'll go to Steve Simmons, Toronto Sun. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
I got you, Steve. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Sorry, I'm off the thing for a second. Coaches always want their best players to be their best players. That's the oldest cliche in the books. Thoughts on what Auston did tonight and the kind of playoff game he had for you?
I guess the best way to describe it is just very complete. Extremely competitive, physical on the puck, made plays, scored a huge goal for us. Play with all sorts of authority, strong in the face-off dot. There wasn't really anything that he didn't do extremely well here today. So, like I said, I thought we had a good efforts all the way through our lineup here today, but no question that Auston was a real difference maker tonight.
Next up, we'll go to Mark Masters, TSN. Go ahead, Mark.
Sheldon, there's some grumbling on the other side about the officiating tonight, but from your perspective, what did you think your group did well to draw some penalties?
I thought we had the puck the entire second period for the most part. And that really, I think, caused some fatigue on the other side. So we were able to really get at them that way. So I think that was a big factor. I haven't watched all the penalties back here yet to see how they were called, but it just felt like we had a lot of life and a lot of momentum, especially through that second period.
Next up, we'll go to Jonas Siegel, The Athletic. Go ahead, Jonas.
Hey, Sheldon, what made you decide to stick with Rasmus after the way things went in game one?
Well, you say the way things went, so I don't really, that's pretty vague. I don't really know what you're referring to.
I guess just the goals against.
Yeah, the goal against. I mean,
sure.
The shorthanded goal. He makes a mistake there. I think, and his mistake is probably that he didn't go off the ice on his way back for that puck, so that he wasn't tired in that instance. That was the mistake, and of course that stood out in my mind as well. But you go back and you watch the game and you break down the game, you study the game, and you really pick out a lot of really positive things that you think. For me, I just thought that with that experience and playing in that first game, it's so fast and physical that I thought he would be better today. But I just think that, with Rasmus, the payoff it could be really big for us in terms of his skill set and what he can bring. And that requires a little extra patience on our side. And I just had belief that he was going to be better today than he was in the first game. And at the same time, I came away from watching the first game in its totality. I came away feeling a lot better about his game and not just focusing on the one mistake, which is, we tend to do that a lot. Certainly media does that, but even coaches tend to do that at times. And that's why it's important to take the time the next day to break it down.
We'll take three more here. We'll go to Terry Koshan, Toronto Sun. Go ahead, Terry.
Hey, Sheldon, I know recently you like the way the power plays move things around and that the puck movement and that sort of thing. But how tangible is it now? You can take the confidence of 2 goals going forward, and the players actually have something they can try to sink their claws into, not going into game 3 that way.
Yeah, it's big. I mean, for us as a coaching staff, we can preach process as much as we want and show them the number of good looks that they were creating. Even the other night. In game 1, power play was really strong for us early in the game and didn't get rewarded. And then didn't like how when the game was on the line, we had a chance to really make a difference. I just thought we looked we didn't look as comfortable and as confident. But we got right back to work today. Obviously, I was really pleased to see us get rewarded. Those guys need that, and they deserve it. They were giving us all sorts of life, even when it wasn't going in. Like you could just sense the energy on the bench growing, and that's what you really want in your power play. Of course, you want the goals. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way, it doesn't fall in, but you want to be building positive momentum throughout the bench, and you want to be wearing down the opponent, and the power play did that, and eventually it broke free, scored us a huge goal.
And the last two here, we'll go to Josh Clipperton, Canadian Press. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey Sheldon, after what happened on Thursday with John, I mean, things could kind of go one of two ways with the group in terms of the emotional response. What did you like about your group's emotional response, and how much was talked about John before the game or in the intermissions in the room?
It wasn't, I mean, I'm not in the room all the time, but it wasn't talked about the times that I was in there. I think yesterday was a real good opportunity for us as a team to regroup and kind of push past that, especially after being put at ease that all things considered, John was doing well. And a credit to John himself. His leadership of our team, despite his situation, didn't stop. He took it upon himself to send messages out to the team to reassure the team. And I thought that really helped put our guys in the right headspace. Of course, we had great concern and fear in that moment. But he, after himself feeling better, he made sure to communicate to his teammates, and I think that really helped our team push past it. We miss him greatly on the ice. We miss him greatly in the room. Don't like the fact that he wasn't able to be with us in the building tonight, but the guys just refocused and played, and of course, you're winning for him, you're winning for all the guys who don't get to play, and you're winning for the guy next to you in the room or the guy on the bench. It's there's all sorts of reasons to compete, and we have another one here to make sure that everybody's on board and doing their job.
And the last one here, we'll go to Herb Zukowski with the Montreal Gazette. Go ahead, Herb.
Hey Sheldon, I'm wondering what might have surprised you more tonight, the 5 unanswered goals after the Canadiens opened the scoring, or 6 consecutive penalties by Montreal. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Well, sure. I've seen it happen with the penalties before. I mean, Montreal's made it very clear that they want to be very physical. I think the term was, they want to make it a war, and if you're going to do that, you're at risk of getting penalties called against you. And that's our job as a power play to make them pay for that. So that's part of it. Again, I haven't watched the penalties back, so I don't really know what was there. And while we're on the topic of penalties, I hated the call that was made against us. I mean, I didn't like that either. So I think it was so much at stake here. You're never going to be overly excited with the way the calls go, and the officials have the toughest job of anybody out there. And however it works out in the end, we just as players got to deal with it.
Thanks, Sheldon.
Thank you.